Previously during the investigation.
F.K. in the coffee. I knew I could count on it. Never fails.
Ah, the perpetrator. Bit off Anna's tongue.
Jackpot, Zach. A shame, but our old-time all-American sightseeing tour just came to an end.
When purple fog covers our town, we'll all wander in hell, I fret. So says Mr. Stewart.
Oh, well, there's an old story, folklore. It's a fairy tale to me. Something about a killer in a raincoat who appears on rainy nights.
She had a red dress on. She was a goddess.
It's starting to rain. I think this case may take a while.
Are you thirsty?
You must be very thirsty.
You only take milk with your coffee?
Coffee with milk. That's all.
Who are you?
My name is Becky.
What are you doing here?
My name is Becky.
Anna's friend?
My name is Becky. After your throat is quenched, you must do what you must do.
Take a sip of coffee and go.
Huh? That's me. That's me when it happened. Zach, this case looks like it's directly related to us. I do not know how yet, but I do know I need some coffee. George said he'd have someone pick us up in the parking lot. Let's get some breakfast with Polly first.
Whoa there!
Did you need something?
No, I was just passing by. I didn't think anybody else was here other than Polly. The door opening like that it surprised me, that's all. I'm Kaysen, Forrest Kaysen. Nice to meet you. I travel a whole lot, you see, selling tree saplings. Just the usual salesman doing the usual road trip. Sometimes I feel, I don't know, like a jolly old bumblebee spreading pollen.
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan.
I get it. You're the special agent Scarface that everyone's yakking about. Nice to meet you, Francis.
Special Agent Scarface? I'd need a bigger scar to live up to that name. Call me York. That's what everyone calls me.
What? You got it. York.
Is this your first visit here, then?
No, sir. Actually, I've been coming here once or twice a year for, a while now. I don't get much business here, but it sure does make a fine vacation. I mean, it's a gorgeous hotel at a bargain price. It's so relaxing in these parts, too. Oh, I just love all the nature. I feel so relaxed here. Say hi to Willie. Oh, don't worry, he's a good boy. Do you like dogs?
Hey, Willie. How are you doing?
He's pretty smart, too. Oops, before I forget, let me give you this. It's just a sample of what I sell.
Thank you. How kind of you.
So, what brings the old FBI out here? Sounds like more than just a vacation.
A murder, actually. The perpetrator is still out there. Try to stay indoors at night and during the rain. We want to prevent it from happening again, okay?
Oh, it's a darn shame. Places like this used to be the safest in America.
Could I ask you something? Do you know a lot about seeds?
Seeds? Gardening, huh? You don't look like a green thumb, but let me tell you though, I'm pretty much the only one who can make those saplings sprout. There's a trick to it that can't really be passed on, you know? It's like, the secret of making a good smoked ham, something like that. But you know, once they sprout, you don't need to do much. You can leave it be, and why, it'll turn into a big tree no matter what happens. Kind of like those stocks that politicians buy that just keep growing and growing. Well, you just wait and see. This town is gonna love them. Right. We were just about to go take a morning stroll, so I'll get going. Good luck now with that case.
Thanks.
Zach, do you remember what the coffee said? Forrest Kaysen. F.K.
This show has just begun. Breakfast looks as good as yesterday's.
I hope you enjoy it.
I will, and thank you. I just met Kaysen, actually.
Ah, good old Mr. Kaysen. Did he give you a sapling?
As a matter of fact, he did. Don't tell me he gives one to everyone he meets.
No, only to the people he feels comfortable with. He told me. He must feel really comfortable with me.
He must. Is there anyone he hasn't given a sapling to?
Mustard? Okay, I'll just get it from the kitchen then.
No, mustard has nothing to do with it. I was wondering if you know of anyone that Kaysen didn't give a sapling to.
Oh, too much pepper. I did think it might be. I'm sorry.
Ah, Zach, I forgot. We'll never get anything out of her, will we? Forrest Kaysen. He's hiding something. You think so too, right, Zach?
But no need to rush. All secrets are hidden until they are inevitably divulged. The powers of entropy. The world exposes everything and causes chaos. Just like this coffee.
Good morning, Agent Morgan. Did you sleep well?
Morning, George. Dreamland was quite nice.
You do look well rested. Oh, I was up practically all night doing paperwork. Thomas helped me out, so I was able to go home and get some sleep, but not enough.
Diane got back into town late last night. We should give her a visit.
Which means going to the art gallery, correct?
She lives and works in the office there, so it's the only place to find her. The gallery is open from 10 to 1700.
Time for some art appreciation. A cultural activity in such a small countryside town. Amazing, Zach.
The gallery is called Muses Gallery. The Muses were the 9 daughters of the goddess of memory in Greek mythology.
Ah, it's just like Diane to name it that way.
Is she that intelligent a woman?
Oh, maybe. You'll see for yourself soon enough.
Did you see how Emily reacted, Zach? I sense that this Diane is not popular among other women. I can't wait to meet her.
The gallery is on the north side of town. Take the road along the lake and go north.
Looks more like an old mansion than an art gallery.
Diane liked the building so much she turned it into an art gallery.
She left the exterior untouched and had the insides redone.
So she's rich.
She bought this place, didn't she? Does that answer your question?
Indeed it does. Well, George, Emily, I want to talk with Diane alone. Will you wait here for me?
Don't tell me you still don't trust us.
No, that's not it. But this is very important to me. I always make sure that I meet with the important ones, one-on-one. Otherwise, it's difficult to sense the subtle reactions of the suspect. This is just how I do things, and I'd appreciate your understanding.
But go on then. You're not going to listen to us anyway, are you?
You're starting to understand me, George. Well then, Zach, let's go and meet Lady Diane.
Hello? Hello?
No reply. Let's take a look around then, Zach.
Hello, Olivia. Do you like art?
Yes, I do. Well, I mean, I like trees.
Trees. Okay. Ah, but I see because these are all tree paintings. Do you come here often then?
Well, no. Just sometimes. I'm sorry, I really need to get back to the diner.
Zach, she was lying about something. She said trees, not paintings of trees. She doesn't need to come here to see trees. There's tons of trees outside.
Like I said, there's no point in you having this. I can put it to far better use. I'm taking it with me, okay?
That's fine by me then, as you wish. The FBI agent, right? Just wait a moment, please. I'll be right with you.
So there's no way you could have been at the scene of the crime?
That's right. I was drinking at the bar with Nick until early morning. I'm sure if you ask him about it, he'll say the same.
Very well. I'll be sure to do that. One other thing. That argument with Carol just now.
She's always like that. She thinks of me as an enemy, always bickering at what I say.
Is there any reason for that?
Perhaps because someone she liked ended up with me in my bed?
That would explain it, yes. If I may be so bold, who was the lucky man?
Oh, I sleep with anyone I wish. Anyone I prefer to sleep with. I guess she had her eye on one of them, but I don't know who it was exactly. I could sleep with you, if you like.
I'm flattered by your offer, but I don't think that would be appropriate. You're exactly the kind of woman a man in my job should never get involved with.
Isn't that a shame, darling?
I'll be frank. Right now, you are not a suspect. But both Zach and I are certainly feeling shaky about you.
If you want to remain in the clear, just watch yourself from now on.
Oh, you don't know, do you? Artists and art lovers, we love a good thrill.
Thank you for your help. I have nothing further to ask you at the moment. Goodbye. I had a chat with Diane. She said she was at the bar drinking with Nick at the time of the murder. We need to confirm her story. Let's talk to Nick at the diner.
Very well, Agent Morgan. I have to head back to the department and clear up some paperwork. Go with Emily to the A&G diner.
Okay then.
I'll show you the way. The diner's open from 9 to 2100.
Just as we suspected, Zach. Diane is the key to this case. I have a feeling she will lead us right to the criminal.
That's Kaysen. Looks like the show has just begun, and it has an all-star cast. Emily, do you know a man named Forrest Kaysen?
Kaysen? Yes, I know him. The sapling salesman, right? He always uses strange comparisons when he talks.
I'd like to know more about him. What does he do when he comes to town?
He's a salesman, so I guess he sells things? Maybe he comes on vacation. We haven't seen many tourists recently, but he comes pretty often.
Is that all?
Well, now that you mention it, he seems quite friendly with the Ingrams, with Isaac and Isaiah. Maybe you should ask them about Kaysen.
Okay, I will. The A&G Diner. Wonder what the A and G stand for. Any ideas, Emily?
Nope, I don't know either.
Air and gravity, perhaps? Access and games? Aliens and Godzilla? Who knows?
Is it important to know? Why don't you just ask Nick?
Oh, I will. But first, I need to eat. Wonder what's good here.
Welcome, Mr. Agent.
Hi, Olivia. Let me have your special for today. And some fresh coffee.
Our special today is turkey. A turkey and gravy sandwich. Sound good?
Oh, perfect. Emily, you eat something too. It'll be on the FBI.
Okay then, I'll go all out. I'll have the T-bone steak. I usually can't order it because it's a little too expensive.
Mrs. Olivia Cormack, I am here for Mr. Stewart's lunch. If it is ready, I'd thank you a bunch.
Yes, of course. Just a moment. Here you go. The usual. 1 turkey, strawberry jam, and cereal sandwich.
Sounds like the sinner's sandwich. Self-inflicted punishment to atone for past sins. He's setting an example.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, you should try this wonderful lunch. It's more than a delicious, tasty crunch. So says Mr. Stewart.
No, that's fine. I've just ordered my own lunch.
Mr. Francis York Morgan? That is, Mr. Stewart's order is delicious, I should mention. And Mr. Nick Cormack is a genius for creating this perfection. So says Mr. Stewart.
Still, I have a hunch I might not like it. You sure that sandwich is that good?
Mr. Francis York Morgan, making decisions based on intuitions is always a sign of bad FBI agents. So says Mr. Stewart.
Harry, you're right. I'll give it a try. I can't believe it. This is fantastic. It's really good. Olivia, I'm sorry, but can I change my order? I'll have what Harry is having. Nick and Diane. They hardly make the perfect couple, do they? Is it widely known that they go drinking together, just the two of them?
To be honest, I don't pay attention to these things.
Not into local gossip?
Well, when I moved here, I was still in high school, and I kept wearing the same wild clothes from my school in Seattle. I was young back then. And before I knew it, there were rumors all over the school. She'll screw anyone. That's what they said. Totally unfounded, of course. Anyway, after that I just sort of chose not to really trust gossip.
I get where you're coming from. I used to dress like a hardcore punk rocker when I was in high school.
You? A punk rocker?
Nobody took my side, even when I had good grades. People rejected me just because of what I wore. I was young back then, too.
Even still, I just don't see you as a punk rocker.
And you laugh? Look at you. No makeup on, dressed in uniform, eating a steak for lunch. Okay, back to work. Let's talk to Nick. There's something I'd like to confirm with you, Olivia, if that's okay.
Yes, well, so long as it doesn't take too long.
First, what were you and Nick doing on the night of the murder?
I was here in the diner. Nick said he was going to the bar for a couple of drinks.
Does he go to the bar often? Leaving you to hold up the fort?
Yes. He says he enjoys the conversation with Diane. I thought they went drinking again together that night.
Do the three of you ever go drinking together?
Well, you see, I'm really not into art.
And your husband is well versed in the arts then, I take it?
Oh, yes. Looking at art and talking about it is his way of relaxing.
People just aren't what they seem. Like a certain someone who was into punk rock 10 years ago.
You are absolutely right, Emily. But you can be an art lover and a liar at the same time. One more thing, Olivia. You just said that you aren't interested in art.
That's right. And...
So, how come I bumped into you at the art gallery? Didn't seem like Nick brought you there. You were there alone.
Well, I like trees, is the thing. That's why I went there.
Surely you'd be better off in the forest, rather than an art gallery, then. I think you went to the gallery not to see trees, but to see Diane. right? You don't want to answer? Or perhaps this isn't the right place to ask.
Meet me in the backyard. You can get there from the parking lot. I'll wait for you there for an hour after we close up.
They close at 2100. Should we get something to drink and wait?
Well then, Olivia, talk to me.
Yes. In the beginning, Nick only went to the gallery during the day, but he went so often at some point he became friendly with Diane. They started going out drinking together, and now he doesn't come home until early morning. He always says that they were only drinking when I ask. He blames me for not being able to talk about Turner and Rembrandt. Which of course I can't, can I? So what can I say? Finally, I couldn't take it anymore, so I followed him. He did go to the bar, to start with. Diane was there too, but the real problem is where they go to next, right? So I waited outside the bar to see where they might go. And they eventually left the bar and headed for the art gallery. But it was already early morning, but it was still dark. Just before going inside, Diane turned around. It should have been too dark to see me, but I swear, her eyes looked right at me. They seemed to flash for a moment. I was so rattled that I left and went home. The next day, Anna was found dead. I didn't know what to do. I went to the gallery to talk with Diane about it, to confront her. But once I was there, I couldn't find the courage to go through with it. Then I saw you there, and I just felt I had to go home. Nick has been seeing Diane every night recently. He just left for tonight, too. I really don't know what to do.
York, we ought to take Nick in for questioning.
No, not yet. This alone isn't enough.
Emily, answer me.
This is Emily. Agent York is with me, too.
I've just received word from Thomas at the sheriff's department. Something has happened at Becky's house. It was called in by Quinn, but he wasn't making any sense. We have no further details. I've sent Thomas over there. Can you go back him up?
Yes, sir.
One other thing. It sounded like he said, Raincoat Killer. This may well be related to the murder case. Take all due precautions.
No! It couldn't be! Nick! Oh, please, no! What can I do? Nick! Oh,
Olivia, calm down.
Emily, take care of Olivia. I'm heading over to Becky's.
She lives in the big house over by the lake. Hurry!
I just hope this isn't anything serious. Damn it, Zach. We may have screwed up during the investigation. We better hurry, Zach. I have a bad feeling about this. Becky's house is by the lake.
Becky!
I'm sorry. That's all he would say since I got here. Quint, tell me, what did you see in there? Did you see the raincoat killer?
Becky!
Thomas, did you see Nick here?
Oh, Becky!
No. When I got here, he was already like this. Emily should be here soon. Call George and tell him to get over here. Wait out here. I'm going inside. Once they both get here, follow George's orders, okay?
Yes. But Agent York, isn't it dangerous to go in there alone?
Don't worry. Zach is with me. Zach, let me smoke one first. I need to clear my head so I can take everything in. It's bad. Very bad, Zach. The raincoat killer gave Becky a visit. Hold on. Can you hear that? Is it rain? No, it's the shower. Zach, the bathroom, quick! Huh? Zach, she's still alive. Who did this? Who was it, Becky?
Becky! What happened here?
George, stay back. She's trying to speak.
We don't have time! She's dying! Thomas, cut that wire. No! We must get her to the hospital immediately.
What?
What are you doing? Get out of the way! I'll do it!
No, don't! George, stop!
You got us good this time, Zach.
My dear sister, I'm so sorry. I was a fool to fall for a man like him. I don't have the words to apologize to Anna.
I left her there. She was suffering so much, and I just ran away. I know he wanted to kill me too, but I'm not going to let him get away with this. I followed him after he was finished. He carried Anna into the woods. Anna was holding on to that precious locket of his. He couldn't remove it from her hand, even though she was dead. But she let go of it for me, though. It was like she gave it to me. So I brought it home. I might be able to bring Anna's killer down with it. I want you to see it. I know even he wouldn't dare to harm you. He'll catch me, though, if I go into town. I'm trapped in my house. So I've asked Isaac and Isaiah to deliver it. They totally believe that Anna became a goddess. I believe so, too. She looked so beautiful, as though she might smile back at any moment. I have something else to confess to you. I borrowed a pair of your shoes without asking and broke the heel on one of them. I'll send them along with the locket. I'm sure the shoe can be fixed.
So Becky is Miss Stiletto Heel.
And she gave the locket to the twins. Must be the special secret Lily told us about, Zach.
We'd better go and see her first thing tomorrow. Emily, who might this sister be that Becky was referring to here?
That would be Diane. Didn't you know Diane and Becca were sisters?
I should have known, Zach. We're all family here.
Oh, I can't believe it, man. Now that's heavy.
Me neither.
When did Becky stop coming to work?
I think it was like from the day Anna was killed, man. Yeah, that's right. She was totally depressed about something.
Quint called for her to let us know she wasn't coming in for work. She must have been totally in shock, the poor thing.
So you took the twins along to cheer her up?
That's right, hon. If only I knew it would be like this, I'd have spent more time talking to her.
You told me about a special secret between your children and Becky.
Yes, of course. What about it?
It seems Becky handed them an item before she was killed. Any idea what that might be?
Now that you mention it, they had a box about this size which they said was very important.
That's it. I'd like to talk to them about this in person. Where are the boys now?
They went out actually with Mr. Kaysen. They mentioned going to the community center today, hon. There is plenty of space to run around over there.
Kaysen? Do you know him well?
Oh yeah, he's a good guy. He always brings us gifts from his road trips. The kids love him, so we let him take them out every once in a while. You know, for a little quality time with the missus.
Okay, I understand, but the situation calls for urgency. I'll go and look for them myself, and if they come home without running into me, could you let us know?
Sure, of course. I'll contact the department.
Where is it? Where? Where could it be? Her dress.
Oh, Sally!
Sally? Anna's mother?
She's acting up again. She's been like that ever since she heard the news.
What exactly is she doing?
Got no idea. But I guess she's in shock or something. Way I look at it, her daughter's death hasn't really sunk in the right way. Totally, man. I feel sorry for her.
Come on, let's go.
Lily, have you seen Anna's dress, dear? I can't find it anywhere.
Zach, the wheels are turning, but not in the right way. You feel it too?
Isaac and Isaiah aren't here. They're apparently out with Kaysen. Let's go look for them.
With Kaysen? Sounds like a long story. Any ideas where to start looking?
Lily told me where they went. No problem. And today, we're stuck here having to search for lost children.
They're not lost. We're the ones who are lost.
And so we are, Emily. Zach, we may as well have fun if we're getting lost.
You sure know how to take your time in a time like this.
According to Lily, Isaac and Isaiah should be here.
Then let's go and find them.
Hello again, Isaac and Isaiah. I hear you're teaching Willie to do tricks. What's your secret?
It's easy.
Really simple.
If he does it right, we give him a treat.
A cookie if he does it right.
I see. You're very clever. So, tell me, you two. Could you perhaps tell me your other special secret with Becky?
No, we can't. It won't be a secret if we tell.
I'm not telling. We promised Becky.
Now that's a problem. Because I also made a promise to Becky. I promised to catch the bad man alert. But I can't keep my promise if I don't know what the secret is. Do you see?
She told us to give Diane a box. It wasn't that heavy.
We took it to the art gallery and gave it to Diane.
Is that all Becky gave you?
Just when we were leaving to take the box to Diane, Becky called us back. She handed us something. It was small and round. She told us to keep it safe in our pocket and give it to Diane.
And then you met Carol on your way?
Yep, I took the round thing out of my pocket and we looked at it.
And then she talked to us.
We told her that we were on an errand for Becky. She said she'd do it for us.
But we told her no, because Becky asked us, not her. We promised Becky to do it ourselves.
So Becky did entrust the locket to them. And now Carol has it. Right, Kaysen?
Huh?
You were in the room when Carol took the locket back from Diane. I saw you with Diane in the art gallery that day.
Well, yeah, I was there in the room, but I was only chatting with Diane. Oh, then Carol burst in, all angry looking. While Carol and Diane had their talk, I just sat there like a frog. Yeah, so Carol took the locket from Diane, but that has nothing to do with me, right?
Yes, I believe so. But from this instant, you are now a key witness in this case. I'm afraid you can't leave town until you hear from me.
What? Can you do that? This is all starting to sound a little like Alice in Wonderland.
Which makes you Humpty Dumpty.
Huh?
Isaac and Isaiah, thank you. I think I'll be able to keep my promise with Becky thanks to you two.
How is Becky?
Is she getting better?
She'll come and help out at our store again, won't she?
She'll come and play with us again, won't she?
Boys, about Becky.
That's right. Becky is almost totally better now. But I don't think she'll be able to come and see you. I was told by Becky to keep this a secret. But she's actually a goddess of the forest, just like Anna. I think she's gonna be in the forest with Anna for a while.
Cool! We'll keep this a secret then too.
Wow, that's why Anna and Becky are such good friends.
Okay, Willie.
You're happy too, aren't you?
Zach, I hope Emily doesn't end up as a forest goddess too. Okay then, Zach. Let's go over what we found out recently about the case.
First, Diane, the owner of the art gallery. She was out drinking with Nick Cormack in a bar on the night Anna died. Nick confirmed this, and so she has an alibi. But then we have what Nick's wife Olivia told us.
According to Olivia, Nick and Diane not only went to the bar, but also went somewhere else that night. Do you remember where that was, Zach?
That's right, the art gallery. Before entering the gallery, Diane looked back towards Olivia, almost as though she saw Olivia in the dark. Nick's behavior has also become more suspicious by the day. If Olivia is correct, then he is heavily involved in this case. But we have no conclusive evidence of that at the moment. The only thing we can say for sure is that Nick's whereabouts are unknown at the time of Becky's murder. There's no alibi for the crime, but that fact alone means nothing. So who was it that called Thomas to report trouble at Becky's place? That's right. It was Quint, Becky's boyfriend. He went to her house and saw the tragedy. Now, about Becky's murder. I'm embarrassed and mortified. Killer struck again while we were on the case. We found her bitten off tongue. A massive amount of red seeds that poured out with the blood. And an inverted peace symbol, like the one seen at the site of Anna's murder. From the similarities, one can deduce that Anna's killer killed Becky.
We also found one other important piece of evidence in Becky's room. Can you remember what that was, Zach?
That's right. We found a sketchbook in Becky's room. She had apparently written a letter to her sister Diane. It revealed that Becky took a locket from Anna's body at the crime scene. She also admitted to borrowing a pair of Diane's stiletto heel shoes. So Miss Stiletto Heels was Becky.
There was something else at the end of the letter. It said that she handed the locket and stiletto heel shoes to someone. Do you remember who, Zach? That's right, Zach. And from what Isaac and Isaiah told us,
Carol offered to take the items to Diane, but the twins refused. They gave them to Diane themselves, as they had promised. For some reason, Carol wanted the locket. She ended up storming into the gallery to take it from Diane. And when Carol took the locket from Diane, Kaysen just happened to be there. Is Kaysen involved in this? Or was he just there by coincidence? I wonder what's so special about the locket, too. Why did Carol want it so badly? The questions are mounting. Come to think of it, Quint, the first witness, has no alibi for Becky's death. We checked the phone records, and his call definitely came from her house. Is it possible he attacked Becky and then called us from the scene?
but everyone is suspicious one way or another. What should we do next, Zach?
Okay, who's the most suspicious?
No, I don't think so, Zach. He's certainly suspicious, but there is someone else at the center of this.
That's right. Becky's sister and Carol's enemy, linked to both Nick and Kaysen, the elegant owner of the art gallery.
Zach, that's our next move. We'll start with Diane.
So, you want to find out everything there is to know about Diane?
That's right. There's just too many things that we don't know. First, we need more intel about the relationship between Nick and Diane.
How?
Nick and Diane meet every night at the bar. Let's use that. George, we'll need you to stake out the gallery.
What do you mean?
Wait in the parking lot of the art gallery and tail Diane when she leaves. If she goes anywhere other than the bar, you let me know. Emily, you take the diner. Wait for Nick and tail him to the bar too. As with George, if he goes anywhere else, then you let me know.
Okay.
Thomas, you keep a watch on them inside the bar.
Yes, I will.
I'll be waiting in the parking lot of the bar. Once Nick and Diane are together, I will follow them wherever they go. What time do they usually show up, Thomas?
Around the same time. Usually between 22 and 2300.
Then at that time we do it, boys and girls.
Nick's still in the bar.
Just as we planned then. I wonder what happens next.
Agent York, you're really enjoying this, aren't you? I have to admit, I envy that.
Agent York, Nick is leaving the bar. What about Diane?
She isn't here tonight.
Emily, check that with George.
George, can you hear me? Nick's leaving the bar. What's happening with Diane?
No movement. Tell me what to do here.
Stay put, George. I'm thinking Nick will head to the gallery. Let's meet up there.
10-4. Copy that.
Agent York, it's Nick.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Let's go.
Okay. Time to play with the big boys, Nick.
We'd all have halos by now if I was driving.
I think someone's putting a curse on all the cars I drive recently.
Agent York, Nick's getting away.
Don't worry, time to get serious. Hold on, you two, this might get bumpy. Is Nick here? George?
No, he hasn't showed up here.
What about Diane? Any movement?
No action here at all. Did something happen?
Yes, a little. But George, something's different about you. Are you okay?
Actually, I had a little drink while I was waiting. This is my first murder case, after all. I'm on edge, and I needed one. It was only a little, though. I'm still in control.
Zach, Nick and Diane are probably both inside.
George, you're sure you didn't see Nick?
Positive. I haven't taken my eyes from the entrance all night.
Not that I don't trust you, George. But I'm positive Nick is here. Is there another entrance?
Not that I know of.
Well, I'll go look for one. Help me out if you can, would you? Emily, I want you guys to...
Wait out here, I know. I'm not gonna fight you about this anymore. But promise me this. If there's trouble, then you'll call us in, okay? You might not think so, but we're a team.
A team?
That's what I think, at least, and I'm interested in you and Zach. I don't want anything to happen to you before I hear more about you two.
You? What are you doing here? So it was you. Much more astonishing than I imagined. I'm impressed. No! Don't! I'm not in this stuff!
Nick. Huh?
Agent Morgan, where are you? Answer me! Come on, open up!
George, call for assistance with the body.
Wait! She's still alive.
Diane, don't move. Don't move your hands and stay still.
George, it's no good. It won't budge.
Emily, stand back.
There's not enough time. George! Catch us!
Thomas! Call an ambulance!
What? What?
Agent York, George, are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay. I think I'm too old to be an acrobat, though.
Diane looks okay, too. She should be able to tell us who did this to her.
God, I hope so. But you, George, quite a catch. I'm impressed.
George? Diane.
What a beautiful beach. The reaching one who flew off into many directions, culminating in sharp voices flying away into nothingness, inspiring a truly deep eroticism in all who see it. Every woman will find herself about being penetrated by those sharp voices. This piece is most unimaginable desire. And yet, this is far more than a wooden piece of art. It is a piece of masterpiece where everyone can
Diane?
themselves. Come closer. Bathe in its beauty.
Diane! Stop right there, Nick. You're under arrest for the attempted murder of Diane Ames.
Back
Back off! Don't touch me!
Diane, no! Move!
Emily, hurry!
I requested, and
Thomas will need a body bag, too.
Nick, quiet.
Can you hear that?
Hmm?
I think he wants us to follow him. Shall we follow, Zach?
Willie, are you out there?
Kaysen, what are you doing in there?
York, is that you? Thank God. I can't get this door open. Can you unlock it from your side?
Kaysen, stand away from the door.
Where's Diane? And what are you doing here?
I was going to ask you the same thing.
Well, let's just say I have my reasons, you know, private reasons. I don't really have to tell you, do I?
Actually, you do. Diane just died a moment ago.
What?
You're not just a key witness now. You're now a suspect. And you need to tell me exactly what you were doing here.
Well, I just came here to talk with Diane, to have a conversation.
And I suppose that kiss mark on your cheek is from your conversation.
This was just a spur-of-the-moment thing.
Which is exactly what killed Diane.
Okay. I came here to be with Diane. You happy now? We've been together before, a couple times. It's one of the reasons why I like coming to this town, see? This time is no different. I bumped into her in a bar in Seattle. I had some holiday coming up. Well, so I just took it and I drove her back here. I have a wife, you know, but we've been separated for a while. we're going through a divorce right now, and I don't want her lawyer finding out. Anyway, how could I kill Diane if I was in a room locked from the outside? 2 hours ago, me and Diane, we were taking it easy, drinking upstairs. We were, enjoying ourselves. Then Nick had to show up. Well, then Diane had a sudden change of heart. She locked me up in here. I've just been here, waiting for her to come back, of course, but she didn't. I heard footsteps a couple of times, but they just passed by. Well, then I couldn't wait anymore, so I let Willie here out through the window. Then you showed up instead of Diane.
Zach, Diane has become the third victim of our killer.
And nada from questioning Nick. Nothing. Got no new leads from questioning Nick. He's taken the death of Diane really badly. In shock, the works. He claims to have liked talking with her about art, but he also had a problem with her views about men. He says that they argued, but not at a level that would lead to a murder. They were about to head out to the bar again together, but while he was waiting for Diane, someone knocked him out cold. He has no idea who it was either. Of course, Kaysen looks like a prime suspect, but that door was locked from the outside. There was no other way in or out of that room, which means there is no evidence of his involvement at this time. He did say something else. The footsteps he heard outside the room were not heels, but a man's boots. And Nick was wearing boots. But now that Diane's dead, no one can back up Nick's statement. Which is why we have Nick in custody and have to let Kaysen go free. That seemed like the only option, at least for now.
One more thing, Zach. George looked terribly depressed. I guess this case is really getting to him.
He's feeling responsible for the deaths of Becky and Diane. Take his rules and confidence away from him? I wonder what's left. Well, of course, he'd still have muscle.
Zach, let's get back to the hotel.
First Anna, then Becky, now Diane. I'm not looking forward to writing this investigation report.
Agent Morgan. York. Do you have a moment?
What is it, George?
There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Do you have any time later?
Can't we just do it here?
If possible, I'd like to go to a bar. Of course, we don't really have to.
A bar? Now that sounds like a good idea.
Zach, what do you think? We can go drinking with George, or turn him down and head back to the hotel.
George, that scar on your cheek. Where did you get it?
This? Didn't I tell you? Well, it's not from work. I got it when I was a kid.
A childhood injury. Tree climbing? I used to get a few scrapes myself climbing the big tree in our backyard. I used to climb it a lot, and fall out of it a lot.
This wasn't anything like that, though. It was my mother. She did it.
I'm sorry, George.
Don't worry. It's ancient history. The world is flooded with unreasonable violence. The strong overpower the weak, adults over children, men over women, and criminals over their victims. I have no memories of my father. He left before I knew him. My mother would hit me every time I asked why. And it didn't stop there. If I ate too slow, left my shoes scattered around, TV volume too loud, She found reasons to hit me bad. The worst was what she called the tree punishment. She'd whip my back with these thin tree branches like a whip.
Please, Mama. I won't do it again. That hurts, Mama. I'm sorry, please. I'm sorry.
Tree punishment was definitely the worst, I tell you. Just hearing those words used to make me shiver and want to pass out. And that's why I didn't want to show you those scars on my back. Every time after the tree punishment, she'd always say the same thing. This is hurting the tree more than it is hurting you. And me, being a naive, dumb kid, I believed her. I went to the woods to apologize to the trees. I kept asking myself, why is she hurting me this way? I thought long and hard about it. In the end, I've just figured I'm weaker than her. That's why. It's the law of Mother Nature at work. The strong eat the weak.
But now, you have the power to protect the weak.
That's right. Perhaps I should thank my mother for guiding me into this line of work. York. I've been an arrogant fool, haven't I? And if it weren't for me, both Becky and Diane would still be alive. I could have saved them both. You know, it's almost like they died because of me.
You're out of your mind.
I invited you to this bar for a drink, but I guess this bar is my confession chamber, and I wanted you to listen. And to tell you, well, you must already hate me for causing all these problems and not following your orders. York, I'm sorry. I'll follow your orders from now on. You'll have my total cooperation.
George, you've been as cooperative as you can be. You even invited an FBI guy to a bar for drinks. You've done a good job protecting this town. And the folks here respect you for that. Nobody can blame you for anything.
Thanks. I do feel a little better.
Hey, Carol. Becky is dead. Diane, too. We've got Nick in custody as a suspect.
Nick didn't do it.
I know. Carol, you took a locket from Diane, didn't you? A locket with this mark on it.
I'm busy, gotta go.
Sorry to keep you waiting, boys.
Zach, Emily is already a goddess of the forest.
Let's forget work for a bit and drink a little, shall we?
York? Why is she here?
I just thought the more the merrier. You know, to relax and get loose. Is this a problem?
No, of course not. Pardon me, Emily, but I'm pooped. I think I'll just call it a night.
George, I just got here and you're walking out on me? I was hoping the three of us could have a drink and let out a little steam.
I'm afraid I've already had enough. And I already had a good man-to-man with York. So I'll see you guys.
I think George likes you, but he's avoiding you all at the same time.
How astute.
There's a reason?
Nothing worth going into. It's a thing of the past. Okay. He did ask me out when I first came to town. I was still in high school. But I never really considered him my type. And there's the age gap thing, too. I respect him, of course. I wouldn't have taken this job otherwise.
So, did you move to this town alone?
Of course not. I came with my parents.
Tell me about them then.
Sure, why not? My dad dealt in stocks in New York. He was hardly at home when I was a kid, always working. Those pieces of paper were far more important to him than I was. Which is no different now, really. I don't see much of him. My mother? Totally different story. A wonderful person that I still respect. She was always kind and understanding. Not only that, but she would always help me find my way. She could be fierce, too, scolding me if I took a wrong step. We had our battles, sure, but all in all, she was a wonderful mother.
Past tense?
Yeah, she's gone now. Cancer, just before I graduated high school. She gave this to me just before she died. I take it with me wherever I go. It's what I treasure most.
I'm sure she's very proud of you.
I had a good time tonight. Good night.
See you tomorrow.
York.
Yes.
Please, don't lie to us, okay?
I won't. Don't worry. I won't.
Zach, let's go over our progress.
From what Olivia told us, and the sketchbook we found at Becky's house, Nick and Diane became our primary suspects. There were a couple of reasons for this. First, Becky gave the missing locket to Diane. Also, Nick has no alibi for when Anna and Becky were killed. We followed Nick to the art gallery, Which led us, unfortunately, to our third victim. The third victim, Diane, was strung up in the entrance hall of the art gallery. Her hands were tied and a knife was sticking out of her chest. However, there was a marked difference from the previous crimes.
Do you remember what that was, Zach?
That's right. Diane was still alive. This suggests that very little time had passed since the crime was committed. Which means the criminal was still close by. It was somewhere near the scene. There are two possible candidates. Nick, who was knocked out in the entrance, and one other.
Zach, who was the other person in the gallery?
That's right. Casey. We followed Willie, good dog, all the way to him. Cason's statement came out as follows. He and Diane were in a physical relationship. That was why he visited the gallery. The two were in the middle of such a meeting when Nick showed up. Diane lost her cool and shoved Cason up in the basement. Now, what did Cason hear when he was locked up? That's it. The sound of boots passing by. Nick was wearing boots that day. Which means it was likely that Diane met with Nick in her room. Nick said he argued verbally with Diane about her playing around with men, but they eventually decided to go out drinking to make up. However, immediately after that, Nick was attacked by someone in the entrance hall and knocked unconscious. We saw the rest.
Zach, do you think that Nick is our serial killer?
Me too. Asha sent in a report too. He found a large volume of red seeds in Diane's stomach. This confirms her as a victim of the raincoat killer. Remaining leads. There's the locket, which is in Carol's possession, the man with the tattooed back, and the upside-down peace sign. There's a lot left to answer. I hope the coffee will give us more guidance tomorrow.
Zach, what did you think about George pouring his heart out? I was surprised. It's the end of a monarchy. And he called me York instead of Agent Morgan.
Emily? What's going on? Do you know what time it is?
I'm sorry. I couldn't sleep, so I was drinking alone.
My mother was a very kind woman. She always smiled so brightly, and baked cakes and cookies every day. She'd say that I needed the sugar because I spent so much time thinking. My father was always quiet. We never talked much. He was a federal agent, just like me. And he was hardly ever at home. The only words he ever had for me were harsh ones. I had a vivid imagination, and I remember he once said this to me. There are plenty of crazy things in this world. You don't have to go dreaming them up. And it's my job to make sense out of them. One day you'll understand what I'm saying. I found out later that my father was one of the first to ever use criminal profiling to catch bad guys. And so now I'm doing exactly the same job that he did. Like father, like son.
Can I ask you something?
Shoot.
Mind if it's something personal?
Fire away.
Who's Zach?
Zach is a friend of mine.
Oh, so you do have friends.
Yeah. He's my only friend.
What kind of person is he then?
Well, I've never seen his face. But he's always with me, and we discuss everything.
When did you become friends?
A long time ago. Back when I was a child. I was 7. I woke up one morning to hear my mother crying in the living room. This wasn't normal, so I headed in to see her. My father was there pointing a gun at my mother. I was so scared. I closed my eyes, so I don't remember much more. But I do remember the words my father said to me. At times we must purge things from this world because they should not exist, even if it means losing someone that you love. When I came back to my senses, they were both dead. He shot my mother and then killed himself.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it. Zach's with me. It was around that time that we became friends.
I'm here. I'm with you, he said. I'll be here always. We can get through this together. Quite aside from that terrible scene in front of me, that voice seemed to make me calmer. And here we are, working together, getting through things.
This is the first time I've ever told anyone about this. I wonder if Zach will get angry.
That's a sad story. But I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I'm sure there was a reason for what your father did.
I know. I think maybe I became an agent to find out why he did what he did.
Oh yeah, York, I forgot to thank you.
Thank me? For what?
You saved my life. If you didn't save me at the gallery, I would have died along with Diane.
No need to thank me for that. I'm pretty useless. I couldn't save Becky. I couldn't save Diane.
What did you just say? Useless? I was never expecting to hear you say that. There might be a modest guy in you after all.
Finally, you noticed? You're a little slow, aren't you?
Maybe hopeless, but not useless.
Zach, do you think Emily got home safely?
Anyway, I think it's more serious of a situation than I thought. Do you remember our conversation with Emily? She's really interested in you. I think she's starting to have certain feelings for you.
If that's the case, Zach, you and I are rivals. This is a very serious situation indeed.
Well, if it comes to that, let it be a fair fight. Agreed?
Thomas! Let me out of here! Come on, please! Just for a moment. 1 second. Hate it in here, Thomas. I think I'm going mad. I know you're there. Come on, please. Thomas. 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 Thomas.